I'm Melanie Curtis. This video is inspired by a conversation I had with a friend this week. We met up and we're chatting about what's going on with his company and what he wants to do next and this and that. And it became very clear that he has no freaking idea what he wants to do next. And in fact, that is like seriously bringing him down. Not cool. Like, this is a person, and I'm guessing a lot of you are like this, is that you wouldn't be watching this video, is my guess, if you're not like this, is that you're willing to do what it takes. You're willing to take action. You're willing to go beyond your current comfort zone to expand and grow and change things that you don't like about your life. I have no question. Like, so if you're one of those people, cool. So basically you get in this situation where you feel stuck. What do we do when we're stuck? What do we do when we don't know what to do? The first thing to actually do is to put clarifying your direction actually on the top of your task list. So like, it seems like it's not a real to-do, but it is, because it's, as long as you stay stuck, you're not moving, you're not doing anything. And so basically that's what this video is for, to give you some tips so that you, by yourself, if you're not going to hire a coach, or if you're not going to go to some big personal growth event, weekend, or whatever, if you're not going to do something bigger like that, or you aren't going to necessarily want to reach out to colleagues or this or friends, you kind of want to just keep it in-house, no problem. You can start by doing something yourself. My guess is you already know what area of life is bothering you, or where you're feeling low or unsatisfied or stuck or whatever. So we know kind of what's up on the negative side of the house. So the first thing I would suggest is that you do a legitimate brainstorm. I'm talking write it down, like get out a piece of paper or open a blank email and write down the answers to these questions. What do you like? Like, what do I like? What do I actually like in the area of life where you're looking for a transformation? Secondly, what am I good at? What am I good at? What do I like and what am I good at? What actually makes me feel good and makes me come alive a bit more? Again, this is directed toward the area of life that you're currently trying to break through and get unstuck inside of. Okay, so first, do a brainstorm. What do I like? What am I good at? In these brainstorms, no judgment. Like, seriously, just write everything down. Just everything that you can think of. It could be stupid. It could be totally dumb. This is the complete non-judgment process where you just are literally brain dumping and you're writing everything that comes to your brain. The whole idea of doing it that way, it's very stifling to try and do a creative flow and output when we're also concurrently judging each thing that we write down. Like, even if it totally sucks, write it down anyway. We'll go and review the list after that. And that brings us into the second thing I would recommend, which is to take that list that you've brainstormed and really look at it. Look through that list or whatever on your screen and see what stands out. Like, see which things that you've written down on that list have any emotional charge, that have any emotional kick. And so those are the things we want to start to look at a little bit more, because those are probably going to be things that we can start to look at more deeply that could have some access to that new idea or that breakthrough thought. So number 3, say you've done the list and you now are looking at it and nothing sticks out. You're like, nothing. And you start feeling the negative thing, like, oh, if I did the brainstorm and thought it would work and it was supposed to make me feel better. I was supposed to have a spark on this list. Well, it's totally cool if you've done a big brainstorm and nothing is sparking you yet. No big deal. Like, meaning truly that's okay. That's totally normal, totally common. You're looking at it, you got nothing. What to do then, and this is a legitimate suggestion, is to set it aside and get up and go outside. Put your headphones in, put your sneakers on, whatever. In any way you can get outside, get moving, and get literally physically moving. And I'm not talking huge exercise. If you can do huge exercise and that's something that you do, yeah, hell yeah, do it. If you're someone who really doesn't do that, who isn't much into working out, go for a walk. something that just gets you out into nature, gets you moving, and gets you out of the environment that kind of has you surrounded in the thought that you're trying to break free from. So changing up your environment and getting a little bit of endorphins through your body, like that really makes a difference. Some of the biggest breakthroughs I have had personally and professionally have come when I'm outside running or getting an endorphin high. It really makes a huge difference. So if you have no sparks, even if you do have sparks, either way, I highly recommend this. Get outside, get some endorphins in your body, change up your environment, and see what potential insights come during that effort. The sub-suggestion I would give you in terms of getting outside and putting your headphones in and stuff is listen to podcasts. And I say that for a very particular purpose, is that there are a million podcasts on a zillion different things, likely one on the topic that you are inspired by or into. And why that's important is that we can have breakthroughs when new thoughts are introduced into our minds through a trusted source. So whether it's you watching this video right now with me, whether it's you listening to whomever you trust on a podcast, but like really getting those ideas into our heads through whatever format really, really can contribute to us having a breakthrough, a shift in our own mindset. And that is really what we're after when we're trying to get unstuck. So next, what I would say is if you're still not having a breakthrough, if you're still not having a new thought or some idea or clarification on how to move forward, I would recommend repeating these steps, not necessarily instantly back to back to back, but periodically as you explore and open up this stuckness that you're feeling, this wherever you're at. Because sometimes it takes a while, it's not necessarily an instantaneous, I'm going to do a brainstorm, I'm going to go outside for a walk and boom, my whole life is clear. Like obviously it'd be great if it worked like that, but sometimes it just doesn't. So those are some solo tips. So those are some things that you can do by yourself to help this process along. If you're interested in expanding beyond yourself, but not necessarily wanting to go the professional route, you could totally talk to people you care about, talk to your friends, share about it. Just like my friend did with me the other night, we're in conversation about things that matter, things that are real. Like he wasn't just saying, oh yeah, things are so great, my company's so awesome, it's killing it, which it is, but on the fulfillment side, not so much. So be real with your people about that. Just open the conversation. Allow it to be spoken into the world and into their ears. There might be a cool idea or insight that comes from their reflection on your situation. And also, you might hear it differently as it comes out of your mouth to someone else. So that's always another way to continue to work through the stuckness as a believer that in doing so, the breakthrough will come. The last thing that I would suggest is that if you're feeling this major resistance to something, right? Feeling stuck, it feels like an internal resistance, like there's something we are gripped to or attached to or just afraid of. I really encourage you to look internally, to really look inside. Take a moment or more, take a period of time to really reflect on that. What really are you worried about? What really are you afraid of? Is that stuff legit? Is that stuff very real? If it is, that might have a breakthrough in itself in that acknowledgement that, yeah, this is a legitimate concern. Or maybe there's the breakthrough in the alternative of wow, it's really just not as big a deal as I've just unconsciously made it. So really take a look inside and look. And I keep saying that, but really it takes conscious effort to do this as well. So just as we are putting clarified direction on a task list, sometimes we need to really put personal reflection or internal inquiry on a task list. How else will you do it? So sometimes it takes that deliberate choice. So that is the last thing that I would encourage that you do. That internal inquiry is often where our biggest breakthroughs come, which is I'm sure super annoying to hear, but it's just the case. Like really, when we really see what is actually in our way, the thought that's really blocking us or the fear that's really blocking us or whatever, we can then actively, consciously reframe it. And that is a skill set that we can learn as well. So all of this stuff is very possible and very doable. It just feels like it's not, because when we're stuck, we just can't see that. So start this process, do the brainstorms, get outside, talk to your people if you want to, rinse and repeat, and then continue to look inside, continue to be open for those breakthroughs, because they will come. They will come if you make that effort. That I fully believe. If you make that effort, I don't know when they'll come, I don't know how they'll come, but I believe that they will if you do make that effort. Right on, guys. I hope this was helpful. As always, if you do want some help with this whole process or getting unstuck, we definitely can do a coaching session. I do sample sessions. It's the one-on-one conversation followed by a week of email and text accountability and continued discussion about whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're trying to break through, whatever goals you're ready to set and get started on in a longer term way. There's a million other things I could say on every video, so I'll just leave it at drop me a line anytime with any questions. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about specifically, and I'll get something together.